We heard Chopin's Ballade in G minor and his Berceuse in D flat. David Dubal, may we have your reaction to what we've heard?
Well, wow. Lloyd, this is really a pianist of real poetic impulse, even quite perfumed. He's an unusual, or she is an unusual artist.
Okay.
It's not the usual modern performance in any way. I mean, quite voluptuous in the Berceuse. The pianist not at all afraid to go to the climaxes. The double notes tremendously voluptuous. He does not have a tremendous technique, that's for sure, but he knows really what to do with his technique. And the G minor Ballade, which Chopin aptly said when he heard it, he said Chopin is the greatest poet soul of our age. The Odyssey of Chopin's soul. He plays this with the true bardic ring. He's really telling a story. This is a pianist with much to say.
Well, that's high praise. Thank you, David Dubal. And Paul Kresh, do you echo your colleagues' enthusiasm?
Well, to a certain extent. I mean, everybody falls in love with Chopin at a certain age, and it's very hard to fall out of love with Chopin. And then you begin searching for the perfect performance of things like the ballades. And at first I thought, oh my God, Guillemot Novaes is beyond cavil. She is the greatest one. And then I thought, for a very brief period, Entremont had some kind of clarifying touch with this music, and Rubinstein and Hurwitz, of course. And then I heard Paderewski on an old recording, and this was a totally different Chopin, one unlike anybody else's, and even Moravec, who seemed to me to be the absolutely last word. And here we have this fellow, whoever he is, and I was kind of startled at first by the slowness of everything, by the ultra-romantic gesture, just when I'd gotten used to the fact that there were crisper approaches to Chopin, less sentimental ones. But if you're shameless enough, I guess this comes off. And it did come off more and more as the piece went on, and as I saw how he could vary his mood with the varying tempos. And I thought it was a very interesting performance. I don't think it's going to replace the Paderewski in my soul. I guess I'll have to make room for this one too.
Very good. David, did you have, prior to being exposed to this performance, a favorite recording of or performance?
My God, in every piece, for instance, Chopin's Ballade in G minor, instantly you think of some of Horowitz's recordings, or the old Hoffman recording. They're elemental. But this person has a great command of sound, very inflected, highly inflected, and it startled me because it's not the usual Chopin we hear today, very clean. All that Chopin had come from the cleaning up Chopin in the teens of the century by Arthur Rubinstein, a very crisp and a very masculine, full of virility instead of the Camille, dying on the vine, and looking at the moonlight. This had some of the old-fashioned qualities, and it's just nice to hear some of that and some of the beautiful sounds he got. Yeah. It's certainly not, there is no ultimate performance of anything, but I would love to hear. In fact, if I heard too much of this, it could become a little cloying. There's parts to that, too.
Yes. Well, we did restrict the amount we'd expose you to at any one moment.
Thank you.
It was good to have the moonlight back, I think.
When I lay this name before you, it may not be one you've heard before. Alexei Lubimov?
Don't know him.
No. He's a Russian performer, and not an emigre, as far as I can tell. He was born in Moscow in 1944. Alexei Lubimov. His piano being an 1837 Erard.
Yes, I wanted to say something about this tubby bass and this, definitely not a modern piano. Definitely.
I thought tubby was a tuba. This is an errato recording. And we are featuring pianist-composers on our program, and Mozart is next on today's First Hearing. Now First Hearing continues as we listen to the first movement, Allegro, of Mozart's last piano concerto, the number 27 in B-flat, Köchel 595.